Hello everybody, they call me LDZ, aka Lord Diaz, and I'm coming down from the rafters for another action-packed episode of the Level 99 live stream where we are feeling fine all the way up here at Level 99. And before we get into the business at hand, I want to take a quick second to thank the detractor community, specifically Darksea the Flow and Kinda Sav on Twitter. Thank you for signal boosting my last video, and thank you so much for getting more eyes on the channel. Since the last video dropped, numbers have gone up and we are inching ever closer to getting youtube.com/bm2kx to partner. So thank you, big ups. I really do appreciate it. Oh, shit. But now that we've got the pleasure out the way, let's go ahead and get into business proper. Ladies and gentlemen, Darkside Phil is like the abusive boyfriend, husband, spouse that we never knew that we wanted. And he lashed out at his audience, and specifically King Be Cruel, in his chat the other day because he dared to step to the king.
Select your character.
And also, shout out King Be Cruel for taking it to Phil and taking one on the chin and jumping ship to the winning team. So King Be Cruel, big ups, mi amigo. Welcome to the Vortex.
Another one.
Another convert to the cause.
Yeah, I see.
But to the untrained eye, one might think, oh, Darkside Phil is apologizing for his terrible behavior, for lashing out at his chat, and specifically King Be Cruel, specifically calling him King Be Bitch. Wow. Very, very unbecoming of somebody with a 15-year legacy. Not a good look, my guy. And so, of course, the Detractor universe took him to task, took him to the woodshed, and cut a couple slabs of bacon off that back. And so, of course, now knowing that he done goofed, he now returns to the internet on his Level 1 podcast to apologize. And I'm saying that with very heavy air quotes because, as you will soon see, his apologies are not what most would consider, and I'm being very generous with this word, adequate.
Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3. Prepared for battle.
Yeah, nothing can prepare us for the nonsense that we're about to experience. So without any further ado, allow me to introduce you guys and gals to the boy, the reason for the season, Darkside Phil. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? But before we press play, big ups to Snort Hogan once again providing the clip. And Raw Phil. I don't know how y'all do it. I couldn't sit through a Darkside Phil stream raw. I usually have the filter of Chill Murray or King Jad or King Sly.
Oh shit! J.O.
All absolute legends in the space. I can only dream and hope that one day I get to stand shoulder to shoulder with the fellow pillars of the community. Let's go!
Good morning, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. Welcome to my final consecutive streaming day of the week.
Alright, so right off the jump, I'm gonna have to do something about this because this guy is absolutely insufferable. I'm gonna have to turn off this 3D effect for a moment because I want to increase this playback speed because I just cannot stand dealing with this guy in real time. Throw a little bit of free use juice on top of all that. And now we are ready to go. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
And final day of the month. Today is Wednesday, January 31st, 2024. I hope I find you all well this morning. I will start off with a statement.
You can already tell that he's not even serious about this shit. Like, it feels like an obligation, something that has to get out the way, because obviously he got checked by dents and detractors alike, and now he has to do damage control. Look at this smug ass face. He doesn't care. This isn't genuine. I'm already getting aggro. Let's stop. Let's take a breath. And let's hope that this guy... I'm just looking at it again. Let's keep going.
Basically, I've been stressed out lately. I know I have been. For many different reasons, some of which are public, some are not. All right? There's been stuff going on in my life, both here on the streams that you're well aware of, because I've made you well aware of it.
Yeah, because he won't shut up about it. His business plan is to let you know how miserable his life is so that you feel sorry for him, so that you can tip him.
As well as stuff going on in my private life, and it stressed me out recently. Everything combined at once. It's like we've been talking about recently. When it rains, it pours. It's not just, here's a few things that happen over time, so they're easy to handle. No, instead it just has to be everything, all at once, right thrown in your face, and somehow...
Yeah. Welcome to the real world. To even declare out loud in front of an audience of people that your life is so difficult, when all you have to do is wake up, shuffle over to the next room, turn on the camera, and start talking, and expect people to give you money. If that's rough, if that's a rough life for you, my guy, I don't know what to tell you.
You're supposed to juggle all of it and deal with all of it all at the same time, right? And honestly, one of the reasons why this month I decided against going forward with the documentary about myself, that's one of the major reasons. Already I've got so much going on, so much on my plate, that I didn't see how realistically I was going to be able to handle all of that stuff, plus take on all of the added burden of trying to properly do this documentary, which, let's be honest, had to have been done properly, because if it wasn't, that was not just going to only, affect me, but you, the viewers, as well.
Let's be honest. I mean, whenever he says, let's be honest, or, whenever he emphasizes that what he's saying is true and honest, he literally was on record saying that it's not really the truth that I'm trying to tell you. It's something that you should really listen to and consider. So you're still lying to us. Got it.
Realize that we are a community, all right? And basically we're in a situation where anything that happens on these streams can affect anyone in this community, right? So I get that, and I'm learning.
This is my new favorite segment of these live streams. I want you to put a pin in this. I need you all to mentally put a pin in this thought right here, because this guy is now trying to tell all of us that he cares about his community. Let's continue.
And I'm a human who gets really stressed out sometimes. And so I just want to start off today apologizing for any stress that I may have related on to you in the last week.
Specifically, who are you apologizing to? The one that you cussed out on your stream? The one that has now been welcomed into the detractor community? Are you going to mention them by name? King Be Cruel? Specifically? I'm sorry that I called you King Be Bitch. Let's see if he does that. I doubt he will.
That's on me for being nervous, for being, like I said, at my wit's end for various different reasons.
So here's the thing. Once again, this guy is offloading the reason why he flips shit on his chat onto his stress and onto all of these things that are going on behind the scenes. So once again, this guy is trying to duck, weave, and dodge the actual responsible thing, which is, hey, I was loud, I was obnoxious, I was obstinate. Is that the word? I've heard him say that word before. I don't know what it means. I know he doesn't know what it means. But essentially, this guy was like aggro as fuck and mean to his chat, the same chat that has given them money. The King Be Cruel in particular, for for a little under 3 years. King Be Cruel has been a paying member of this guy's community, and this is how he repays them. He knows because I've seen that name before.
And again, it's not all stuff that we've talked about on stream. There's other stuff going on as well. In life, for me anyway, the thing that ultimately makes me feel the worst is when something is going wrong and I have absolutely nothing I can do about it, right?
So he feels bad. You should feel bad because he feels bad. What about everybody that you yelled at? What about those people?
There's one thing if stuff's, happening around you, like, all right, let's take action, right? Let's fix this, let's fix this, let's do this, let's do this, let's adjust on the fly and fix things and make them better. But sometimes in life, and especially as you get older, you will realize this more and more, as is my experience. There are things that are inevitable. There are things that are
death and taxes.
You win.
Destined to happen that you can't stop. All right. And when they happen, it sucks. And it's one thing if it's one thing happening, but when you have a series of events that continue over the course of shit, for me, it's been like now about a year and a half. And the stress levels just keep becoming exponentially more and more and more and more. It wears you down, And for a while there, I feel like I was actually doing real good. Like I feel like over the second half of 2023 and into this new year, like there was good positivity and momentum.
Wait, stop. No, wait. The tail end of 2023. Are we talking about when Comcast came through, gave you COVID, they got the kill switch, turning off your internet while you're playing ranked online? Or was it when you got robbed at the grocery store, when you got robbed in the parking lot? What are we talking about here? Now you're saying things are positive. What? My head is spinning from the whiplash. Wait a minute. I have to sit here and collect my thoughts for a second because according to this guy, his 2023 was not all sunshine and roses. Rainbows were not, you know what? Maybe I'm not letting him finish his thought. Let's continue and see if this guy can pull it back from where I think he's going. I doubt it, but we'll give him the opportunity.
Admittedly, early on last year, there was a lot of stress because of bad decisions that I made, but I feel like I adjusted that. And then with the release of something like Street Fighter 6, which reinvigorated my efforts to want to play games competitively and getting a new crowd of viewership back and continuing on with all these different projects.
No.
I've been doing along the year and adjusting. I felt like everything was going smoothly for as much.
Gross! By the way, if it's not the snorts, it's the burps. This guy, if he feels the need to, everybody burps, all right? Some of us have the drip. I get it. Sometimes our bodies don't work the way that we want it to. But you know what we can control? This little button right here. Or you can have a keyboard shortcut on your keyboard right there. Maybe a little snort button. If you know a snort is coming, because this is the thing. You can always tell he's preloading the snort because he'll put his hand up or he'll like do a little pantomime or something like that. Or he'll start the super sway. Well, he always sways, but like, dude, maybe you should apologize for constantly snorting in all of our ears, dude.
As could be done. You know what I'm saying? And then, then things all happen at once and everything explodes, everything hits the fan.
What is everything? Please tell us what everything is, because when you generalize and you're super vague like this, we don't really know what you're talking about. So you could be talking about anything. It could be because Jasper's dying. It could be because you stubbed your toe. It could be the landscapers are outside while you're doing your stream. Like, we are casting a very wide net here. We need to narrow the focus and figure out what exactly the problem is. Are you just complaining to complain? Are you complaining to get a solution?
And it's like, now what do you do to fix it? Oh, you just can't. There's nothing you can do. Oh.
Who says? Did you even try? Did you ask your audience? Because you love asking your audience for their opinion as to what could be done in order to fix the problem. If he's talking about the membership thing, like, go to Twitch, increase your membership amount. I don't know. It seems like you've tapped out and you've given up before you even tried. But of course, this is Dark Side Phil we're talking about here, the laziest streamer on earth.
Oh, that's great, because, it's only my life. It's not like this is a video game. It's like, oh shit, I'm playing and things are really going bad this run. That's okay, I'll just respawn with my next life. Oops, oh, this is real life. There's no respawning of a next life, right? You just have to deal with what's going on and somehow make do.
Okay, so now he's equating his life to a video game. Again, because that went so well the first time.
Oh shit!
But what does he mean by this? Is this a health coin is going to go through the roof? Because divorce coin obviously took a shit because Cat's on stream now. So maybe he's having some sort of existential crisis because maybe his gout is catching up to him. Maybe his years of drinking has finally caught up to him. I don't know. He hasn't been looking very good as of late. Nothing that a walk around the old gated community can't fix, I hope. You know, maybe get some of that blood flowing.
And that's kind of what's been going on with me recently.
Kind of, by the way. He says kind of. He'll always say literally or absolutely. He deals in absolutes a lot, but when he's being vague, he always shoehorns that potential in there.
Some people have even said, they've come by streams and said, you seem like you're stressed again. It seems like you're at wit's end and you're angry and you're snapping and stuff like that. And the truth is that
the truth is, by the way, whenever he says the truth is, or I'm being honest here, it may not be the truth, because according to this guy, it may not actually be the truth. It is what he wants you to really hone in and listen to. But then also, this is kind of like a filler word. This is like an apostrophe or a comma. And I'm sure I'm not using those terms correctly either. Like, he uses these as periods at the ends of his sentences. It doesn't matter. Like, none of these words matter. Nothing matters.
Unique situation where I'm put under a microscope constantly, and unfortunately, I'm not allowed to say and do things that other people can do, right?
Wrong. That is wrong. You are wrong. Let me stop you right there, Chief, because it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. When you say, for the example, for the purpose of this conversation, that you feel like this Ichiban character in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is experiencing the same types of trials and tribulations that you are, okay, that's to say, all right, so this guy is on the opposite end of an online slander campaign, right? Of course, Darkside Phil is being subjected to the same, because obviously we're doing it right now, right? But the way that he was saying it, he was like absolutely fixated on this idea that Ichiban was him. He was the guy. And the way that he like said it with like the most absolute, like the most like, this is it, and had no wiggle room, you know, for interpretation. That's where people got like kind of miffed about it. That's where I feel like the aggro from the community was coming from. But you really sunk in, you dug your feet in, and you doubled down, tripled down, and then you went off and started saying stuff about how you're not allowed to have an opinion on these things. No, you're allowed to have the opinion just as much as we're allowed to have our opinion. It works both ways, pimp. It's not just a one-way street.
Like, any other person can make an observation about something and be like, hey, that's kind of like me. I see myself in that. That's pretty crazy. It's like fourth wall breaking. I'm playing a game and I see a connection to my real life. And most people can say that and it's fine. But if I say that, you have 20,000 jackasses who then spin it into something like, oh, he's egotistical, he's this, he's that. What are you talking about?
I love it. What are you talking about?
Oh shit! Come on, stand up.
Yeah, because who gives a fuck what anybody else thinks? Who gives a fuck? Does he give a fuck about what I say, about what the detractors say? Well, obviously he does. So we already got that squared away. The thing of it is, like, dude, you were the architect of this. You were the one that made the mountain out of this molehill. If you just left it alone, I think you would have done a lot better, pimp.
It's a simple factual observation that any human should be able to make, but I'm not allowed to make it because I'm the devil, right? I'm the villain.
No, he's once again casting this in a different type of light. This isn't how the community has presented it to him. He is once again trying to God, like it's like we're going around and around and go.
Here we go again.
He is misrepresenting what the community and the detractorverse interpreted his situation as he presented it on his own stream. And then he had to fight back about it, which made it even worse. If you're like, hey man, oh man, I play Tekken and like I had a dad that my dad threw me off of a cliff too, man. I am just like Jin, I think is the character. I don't follow Tekken.
Judgment.
I just picked up Tekken 8. I'm not familiar with the lore. But like, he'll be like, yeah, I remember when I was thrown into a volcano. I was thrown off the roof of a building. Like, oh, this is just like me. I'm Jin Kazawa or whatever his name is. I apologize for butchering the lore of Tekken. I do not know. Please correct me in the comments. That is engagement farming.
So I can't just do normal stuff. I'm not allowed, right? You know, just like everyone else who says dumb stuff like, oh, the reason why you're so stressed out is because you put all of the effort of your business on the fact that it's a crowdfunded business, right? And if you diversified out and you did more than just crowdfunding and you found sponsorships and things like that, you know, you'd be fine, which is...
He's putting words in our mouth. He is speaking for us, but that's not the case. Get a job. Get a real job. If all that you're doing right here, right now is making you so miserable and not doing it for you, do something else, pimp. Do something else. But this is all he knows. He knows nothing else. A 15-year content creator, he can't go to Indeed.com and say, yeah, well, I was a 15-year content creator. Okay, let's see some of your stuff. Okay, this is a live stream of me bitching. This is a gameplay video of me bitching. This is a daily audit of me bitching. This is a react video of me bitching. This is a throwback where I'm being racist and a bigot and misogynistic, but I'm also bitching. I think the problem is that at 41 years old, you've got nothing to show for it outside of, you know, your gated community and all the DoorDash you buy. And then, of course, WWE champions.
Select your assist type.
So imagine if you think he's feeling bad now, wait until WWE champions, you know, shutters its doors. I was going to hit the button again for the dun, but I feel like I'm overplaying that button, so we're not going to do that. Fuck it.
Completely false. You know, I can't get sponsorships because of these people who ruin everything for me. There's a reason why I'm not in the...
You ruin it for yourself, buddy. You ruin it for yourself. If it wasn't for this guy, well, if it's not for him, we're not wildly speculating. We're just giving our opinions and reacting, the lowest form of content, apparently, according to this guy, to what he is saying and what he is doing. The compilations of this guy acting a fool and being ignorant and being shitty is like, it's like Godfather 3. That's an epic. That's a Marvel movie, you know? Like, there's a plethora, there's a litany of examples of this guy being a piece of shit. And nobody's perfect. I'm far from it myself. But to document every mundane point of your life for the entire internet to see, this is the type of stuff that kind of comes with it. So, I mean, if I made $100,000 a year, painstakingly letting everybody know what I did today. Oh man, today I went to the grocery store after I did a 2-hour stream of Stepmania, got myself a C4 drink and salad from the salad bar. I had some grilled chicken and some bacon bits with Parmesan cheese, and I covered it all with lettuce and some buttermilk ranch. I mean, come on. Who really cares about any of that?
Here comes a new challenger.
Who really cares? I mean, I sure as shit don't, but you know what? I don't know. Different strokes for different folks.
Which partner program, and it's not me, okay? There's a reason why Teespring dropped me from their merch store after having me in there for over 5 years and setting me up themselves, knowing well who I was.
They knew I was a racist, yet they made designs for me. Come on, Phil. Come on. You think like these big corporations are going to micro-analyze each content creator that they have on their platform? It isn't until somebody starts kicking up some dust and they're really going to take a look-see at everything. It's just the way that the world works. Are you going to consistently look at everything? Perfect example. Let's talk about your community, Phil. Let's talk about the degenerates that you call your community. Darish? Okay. Who's that racist guy? Captain Kirk? Whatever? Yo! These guys are crazy. These are wild boys you got in your chat. And either you're turning the blind eye or you're just not like focused on what they got going on. But I mean, with Darius, you are sending each other emails behind the scenes, so I don't know what the hell's going on over there, but make sure your shit's on point before you start pointing fingers in other places, my guy. Oh my goodness.
Okay? I don't have or get the opportunities everybody else does because I'm in a unique situation. I think Mike Klum actually said it best, all right?
Now he's speaking for Mike Klum. First he was talking about his audience, then he was talking for us, now he's talking about Mike Klum. What did Mike Klum say? Hey, and Mike, I know you're watching these videos. No, you're not really. But, like, can you confirm or deny that you actually said this? Because if we're going by this guy right here, I'm gonna take a page from Steve of the Dead and say that this is a unreliable narrator. Shout out to Steve of the Dead. Get well soon, buddy.
He literally said to me, in my early research about you, to figure out who you were and everything, as I started to look deeper into things, I realized that you have likely one of the biggest troll communities on the internet.
Hello, Chris Chan. Hello, Wings of Redemption. Hello, Boogie. Hello, Cyrax. Hello, Derek Larson. Hello, Only Use Me Blade. Hello, who is the hybrid dragon guy? I forget his name. Smokey McCrack would know. Shout out to Smokey McCrack. Also picking up on the Phil drama.
You lose.
You love to see it. Big ups.
Bigger than other people who he's dealt with. Much bigger. Which is hilarious.
So even when it comes to his detractors and his trolls, he has to have the biggest and the best amount of trolls. Like, his narcissism and his ego will not allow him to accept the fact that there may be more dedicated and more creative, let's just say, trolls in the community. He has to be the best at everything, even when it comes to being hated, the king of hate, as it were.
Because you see some of the other stories and things, it's like, oh, woe was me, woe was me. Yeah, but you don't even have half the fucking hardships, you know, of other people.
That's what he's just saying. You're projecting, my guy. You're projecting. And what is he talking about?
Woe was you, right? So basically with me, all right, there's just so much going on. There's really no ways to fix the problems that are happening. And what ends up happening is that all that gets pent up inside of me, and it affects me in a bad way. And then I go back to my old ways. And
your old ways when you're a piece of shit? My guy, I think you are just consistently a piece of shit. And you put the mask on to, oh, I'm a good guy. I'm a positive, creative guy. No. That is the part of you that isn't legitimate. That's the part of you that isn't real. That's the made up, fabricated part of you. The part of you that's shitty to your audience, the one that is entitled, the one that feels like they deserve all of these dense money because you're sitting there and complaining and bitching about your life, about the game that you're playing, about whatever you're watching on your React channel, complaining that the people that are making videos that you're watching is doing so much better and making so much more money, apparently. That's crazy. This is crazy. This is like, it is fascinating to watch this guy at work because it is like textbook. Like, you can set a clock to this guy.
And I do things that are stupid, and I bother you guys with things every stream that I shouldn't bother you with, and it is what it is, right? So
it is what it is, and here it is, my friends. He always goes, it is what it is, because that is a self-defeating sentence. There's nothing that you can do. He's not even gonna try. And that is what pisses people off. Because some people don't have the luxury of just saying, oh, that it is what it is. Whatever. Self-defeating. Like, you're not even gonna try? You're not even gonna, like, give it a good old college try, an honest effort?
Oh, there's not much you can do about that besides recover from it and learn from it and try to regroup and try not to make the same mistakes for the 27th time, right?
27th time. By the way, all right, so I'm going to give him a dub here. I'm going to give him a dub here. Because, and this is my modus operandi. Is that the correct word for it? I really don't know if it's the right thing. But I keep the same energy if he has something to say that is actually of substance and something that is actually legitimate. And now that I was kicking around all this stuff in my head, I forgot what he said that was so, like, actually on point. Hold on. Let's go back.
Besides, recover from it and learn from it and try to regroup and try not to make the same mistakes for the 27th time, right?
That's right. And this is something that I learned as I was training at the MCW Pro Wrestling Training Center, is that do not be afraid of failure as long as you are failing forward. That is something that I've held on to ever since I've started, ever since I've heard it, essentially. And as a 19-year professional wrestler, it wasn't until maybe the last 6 years ago that I actually heard that kind of like mission statement, and then really took it to heart. Because if we were all so great, we would be on television already. We'd be making millions of dollars working WrestleMania and doing the damn thing. But that's not the case. And I always try to tell my students this: don't be afraid of failure, be afraid of giving up. As long as you learn from your failures and your mistakes, it's truly not a failure. And I know it sounds trite and I know it sounds corny, but it's the truth. And whenever I fall flat on my face, whenever I feel like I'm not adequate enough when it comes to anything, this, wrestling, life, you know, I don't, it is what it is. I look at I look at it objectively. I figure out what got me to that point. And then when the next time that something like that pops up, I'll know better for next time what not to do.
Right? So today is going to be a chill day. All right? Today is going to be a completely chill day. All right? It's just going to be me relaxing with you guys, enjoying some laid back games. Not even a fighting game, which is a good thing. You know, I like Tekken a lot. Right now, I think it's a superb fighting game, and I'm having a ton of fun learning the game and getting better at it. But it's a stressful game. When you're playing a fighting game like that, that's like adrenaline pumping, nerves on edge, and you need your nerves on edge. That's the thing. You need to.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. When you're in the middle of it and you're locked in and you're feeling like the ebbs and flows of the fight and you're reading what your opponent is doing and you're reached that Zen moment where everything that you do is flowing and you're hitting everything and the execution is there. A lot of it has to do with you actually taking a step back, taking a deep breath, and like taking stock of the situation. But if you're like nerves on edge, if you're drinking coffee and your heart rate's up and you're all tweaked out and your eyeball is twitching and the side of your face is kind of holding down like this, like, okay, all right, chill side Phil is in the hat. Let's go.
To be able to react and do things and constantly a million things going through your head at once, right? So, and by the way, I don't know why Neckbeard Reviews is typing paragraphs in the chat. There's no way I can read them. I'm doing a show.
He didn't even get through his own apology before he started acting shitty to his chat. How is this guy expecting anybody to take anything that he has serious when he is in the middle of his apology, when he stops everything, full stop, to shit on somebody, specifically called them out by name and said, why are you doing this? Why are you doing a whole paragraph? What? Huh? What? Bro, the minute anybody says anything in my chat, if I can, I will stop and I will read that shit. One, because we got a handful of people that stop by, and two, it's only the right thing to do. You want interaction with your crowd, with your community, and he couldn't even finish his apology before he started drilling into one of his contributors, one of his chatters. But let's.
You gotta love it. People are like just typing their heart out in the chat. Like, you see I'm talking to the camera, right? Like, I can't read what you're saying. Anyway.
What a fucking asshole. Fuck you, man. Like, look. I try sometimes to be a little less aggro when I'm doing these things because maybe it's not a good look. It's entertaining as fuck. But when I put my own brand and my own face to it, maybe sometimes I take that extra second to go, maybe I shouldn't be so aggro or be so crass or any of that type of stuff when we're talking about the guy. But when he goes and does stuff like this, man, that just brings something up out of me that makes me want to hate on this guy even more. And then he takes that drink, that smug drink where he's like, yeah, I showed him.
So, I apologize for any stress that I caused this week. Please know that it wasn't intentional. It was because of all the other things going on in my life at this point.
It wasn't me, it was all these other things in my life. So, of course, he has deflected the blame and the responsibilities on outside forces that you guys have no idea about. So, I mean, obviously, this is going to be good enough for me.
And it sucks that you know, things are just happening all at once. It's a perfect storm of crap, and I gotta deal with it, and I gotta get through it. And the thing is, you know, I know I'll get through it. You know, I have been through this kind of stuff before. I've gotten through it before. It's not the end of the world.
So then what's the holdup then? Just, you've been there before, you're gonna see it again, and it'll probably happen again after that. So what's the big deal? Like, what's the big deal here? I still haven't heard him say specifically, King Be Cruel, I'm sorry for calling you a bitch.
Same time, it's just incredibly stressful that this is the millionth time that stuff happens that's not in my control, and again, I'm powerless to do anything about it. And that's what drives me nuts the most.
Because he's a control freak. Obviously, he's a control freak. His narcissistic tendencies precludes him. No, that's not the right word, is it? Let me know in the comments if that was the correct word. His narcissism will not allow him to offload the responsibility. Well, he's offloading the responsibility of this apology onto other things, but the narcissist in him will not allow him to not have control over these things, which is so weird. Isn't that kind of backwards? Like, at the same time, I'm not going to take responsibility for the things that I did. I'm going to blame other outside issues that you may not know about.
No. Because as much as I would like to say, I know what I'll do, I'll adjust all my content and I'll try to make it better per feedback, which I've done.
Have you? Thumbnails and titles are common practice. Like, you're literally polishing a turd. I wake up every morning and I create a whole bunch of thumbnails for my Stepmania streams, my Dance Dance Revolution streams I do every Monday through Friday morning. And I do it all in one go. I download them all on my downstairs computer that's connected to the dance pad, and I have them ready to go, so I don't have to worry about it. If you just took the time to kind of, you know, prepare for these things, the act of you saying that you are doing so much to improve the channel, like, you don't have to tell us. Like, it will shine through. You'll actually get the views that you're looking for. You'll get the support that you're looking for. But what do I know?
New thumbnails, new titling system for my videos, right? Bringing back content that's been lost from the internet for years and making a whole channel to make that presentable to you in a modern format, which you've wanted.
You've wanted, but remember he said that he didn't want to turn it into a members thing, and then it became a members thing once he was able to get members on that thing. Once he got that channel to partner, you best believe that he was going to be asking for memberships, and we've seen how that turned out. Oh shit! Oh shit! Big ups to the country or continent, or big ups to Argentina. Let's just leave it at that. Is Argentina a country or a continent? Please let me know in the comments below.
Yes, Daddy.
Right? Keeping shows alive that very well could have died because of trolling activity, but still able to keep them alive because of the help of you guys and on-the-fly thinking. I'm doing my best to juggle all of this and maintain sanity, you know?
This is all self-inflicted. If you didn't spread yourself out so thin across 3 channels, why don't you just put it all together in one channel? I don't understand why you need to have these 3 channels. I mean, I see why some creators will have this channel specifically for like live streams, or this channel specifically for reactions and stuff like that. But like, I don't think you have like the range that you think you have. All of the stuff that you're doing across these 3 channels can just be combined into one channel that you can focus on and make sure that's good. I feel like you're just spreading yourself out too thin, and every channel that you now have is suffering because of it.
Oh, it's a lot on my plate, because it's not just that. If that was just what I was doing in my life right now, if that was it, that would be enough. But the fact that outside of this office, I've got a private life and I've got other things going on that you guys are not aware of at all, multiple other things happening that I'm juggling there. And
what are they? What are they? Is it not our business? Then why are you alluding to it? When you leave little breadcrumbs like this, my guy, you are just asking for people to try and figure out what's going on. Why do you do this? Why do you do this, you stupid idiot? Stop it. Just stop it. Just saying, hey man, there's some things going on. Or don't even say nothing. Don't say nothing. Hey, I'm stressed. Hey, there's a lot of stuff going on. Leave it at that. But it's behind the scenes you guys don't know about. You are welcoming people to pry into your life and figure out what the problem is. That's why there's an entire fake stock exchange based off of the things that they think could be affecting you. Divorce coin, health coin. Like, what? What are we doing here?
it's incredibly stressful, you know, and it sucks. So it is what it is. You know, I gotta get through it. And I want.
He loves that saying, it is what it is. He should put that on a t-shirt. He should go to Teespring and, oh wait, he can't.
Select your character.
Again, let you know that if I'm on a stream and I seem overly stressed, right? It's probably a combination of a million factors. It's not just what's going on in that moment, right? But you have to understand that, sadly, there's just people out there that are out to get me for no good reason. Like, it's not because I've hurt them. It's not because I've done heinous acts on the internet. It's because the internet has attached themselves to my ass as a giant, pulsating, infected hemorrhoid. And it's about to burst.
Oh, God, the imagery. First off, I don't want to think about anything growing on you, Phil. Let alone something that's going to grow and burst. Ew. Always with these weird analogies with you. It's always like grow up, man.
And they just stay there and it won't go away because they found that they get pleasure or money or popularity by literally hurting me.
I do this for fun. And you know what's fun to me? Having fun with my fellow detractor friends who also have fun making fun of you, because this is all self-inflicted. Like, we all get together and clown on you because it's fun. And if you were in on the joke as well, then maybe the detractors would be like, oh, well, he's in on the joke now. He's made it cringe. We're going to have to go do something else. But again, once again, this is all bonus DLC content to me. Like, I do other things other than this, and I've heard many other detractor also say the same thing. So to put himself on this pedestal like this, saying that we wake up and live and eat and drink and breathe everything dark side Phil, once again, that narcissism, that ego of his is inflating his head so much that it can't even fit inside of this room here.
And so I have to deal with that on a daily basis. Imagine that there's a group of people out there that are all anonymous, but they can get away with just twisting the knife further into you. And
Anonymous.
Now, find a new rival.
You get hurt, and you can't stop them. There's nothing you can do about that, right? It's pretty bad. And there's not much I can do about it, all right? So it's life, and I want to get better, meaning I want to not be putting that towards you guys, you know?
He said this before. God, how many times has he said this before? And around we go.
Here we go again.
We should have like a counter. I need to think about this for a second. It's the 31st. It's the end of January when this was recorded. Let's see how long it takes before he does this again. I'm thinking that it'll probably be today, because right now on February 2nd, 2024, he's coming back from his day off. He's going to talk about his day off, and there's a good chance that he's going to be shitty to his audience. So let's see how long this lasts.
If I can avoid it. So
if I can avoid it, which means he's left the door open so that he can be shitty to his audience. Let's go.
It's this simple. You're not going to hear it, from me. I'm just going to move forward positively. I'm just going to...
I've heard this one before.
Relax with you guys on streams. We're going to enjoy games. We're going to have fun discussions.
I'll never put my hands on you ever again. I didn't mean to...
I'm not going to be bringing up the stressful bullshit. There's no point. Because again, as much as I've...
He said this before. He said this before. He said this before.
Here we go again.
I can't believe that people fall for this shit. Especially from this guy. He is so unconvincing.
Tried to affect the situation in some way. None of my efforts have helped. Like nothing. Literally nothing that I've said, that I've done, that I felt has helped.
Then keep trying. Then keep trying. The indomitable human spirit.
So why am I going to sit here and why am I going to be so pent up, angry about it, right? When it's time to basically just let it go and be more reserved, and whatever happens, happens. Right? I think that's the better way to think about it, is sometimes in life there's things you cannot control, and you just got to let go, rather than just be so angry about a situation or so try to be control freak about it. Sometimes you just can't fix it. So
what are you trying to fix? What is the problem? You are being so obtruse, is that the right word? And so vague that we don't know what the fuck you're talking about anymore, guy.
You win.
What the fuck are we talking about? You're stressed because you're stressed. There's so many things going on behind the scenes. What is happening behind the scenes? I remember the last time he said this shit, somebody in the chat, one of his regulars said, how much money can we give you in order to fix this problem, or something of the sort.
Another one.
I'm abusing that privilege, but I feel like it was appropriate.
So let it ride and see what happens. In life, generally, in my life, when stuff like this has happened and I just let it go, well, not really just let it go, but over time, things just get better. So I'm just going to let it go and hopefully things get better rather than sit here and harp on shit all day, every day.
This is the shit that he said last time, and obviously it didn't work. So obviously it's not working. So maybe try something else. I don't know.
There's no point. All right. So I've said my piece. I apologize for being so stressed this last week.
Apologize specifically to King Be Cruel, you idiot. Specifically, apologize to King Be Cruel. Probably won't. I know he won't. His ego won't allow him to do so.
Anyone who felt like I wasn't myself or you're offended or something, well, you know, I'm a human and I make mistakes.
Here it is again. He's always a human. I'm fallible or whatever the hell he says all the time. It's like, I'm just a human being. I only murdered that entire litter of puppies in Minecraft.
I can't believe my eyes.
But I'm just a human.
And I'll continue to make those mistakes, you know. All I can do is finally acknowledge when I make said mistakes. And say I'll move on from focusing on that stuff every single day, right?
You're completely missing the point. I apologize. Here it is. Very simple. I apologize for being terrible to my audience. I expect a higher standard from myself, and I didn't meet up to those expectations. And all I can hope for is for your understanding and your patience with me as I work through this. Easy. Easy.
Right? You guys don't want to come to a stream every day to hear about my income. You guys don't want to come to the stream every day to hear about this problem or that problem with memberships and shit. You don't care. You're just here to have fun with me, right? And to have
No, actually, I love hearing about your financial woes because I know it's all self-inflicted. We have a community of people that follow every cent that you make on your streams, and you know why? You know why? Because if you look right here, the information's right there. This is all self-inflicted. We got people on Twitter that tracks your income every stream, every daytime stream, every chill nighttime stream. And then you get mad when people go, oh, well, my financial situation is none of your business. You make it our business every stream. But now you're saying, nah, you guys don't come here for that. You come here to chill and have fun. My guy, you're not very good at that either. Congratulations. You played yourself.
have a good time with whatever gameplay that I'm doing. And I'm grateful to those who come by every day regardless, right? To hang out with me and have a good time. Like, that's what you're here for, right? As I said many times over the years, you are here to unplug from your own lives and hopefully have some good time with me and forget about your own stresses, correct? That's really what you're here for, ultimately, right?
What I'm here for is to fucking clown on you guys. Seriously.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's crazy because, like, I did feel a little shitty the other day, so much so that I had the live tweet about it. And I apologize, but I thank you all for having my back. You know, that did feel good. So big ups, guys, again. But the idea that this guy is like so downtrodden and so down on his luck that he's wiling out and everybody is catching strays. It's just amazing to me. This guy is like the quintessential like abusive boyfriend. I wonder if he like says this spiel to Kat. I mean, I wonder, you know, you gotta wonder about these things because this has become a pattern. And if we've seen it all this time when the camera's on, imagine what happens when the camera's not on him.
When you unplug, you don't want to then go to someone's stream and hear about more stressful bullshit, right?
You bit.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine. And you're not really fine. You just can't get into it because they would never understand.
It's actually close to the Level 1 podcast time right now on Friday, February 2nd, 2024. And I can tell you that he will be talking about his money situation. He'll be talking about his member situation. He'll be talking everything that he said right here that you guys are not here to come to see. So it's like in this moment, that's what he's thinking. But in the next moment, completely different story.
So, I mean, initially with this whole thing, I think, of course, as they say, hindsight is 20/20. Initially,
Wait. On the most recent episode of That Being Said, shout out to That Being Said. They actually had a caller call in and ask the cast of That Being Said, what is their favorite philism? You know, saying hindsight is 20/20 is apparently a saying that drives people nuts. Maybe I was saying it wrong the whole time, but I thought that was the correct way of saying it. I only bring it up because he had just said it in this situation right here.
what I probably should have done, which I wouldn't have known this because the first time I've gone through something like this, is just mention the problem, say it exists. If it further affects things, I'll let you know, and here's how we fix it. Then we fix it. So, for example, I fixed the problem when it came to the React channel, right? The problem has been resolved, and we just did a React show on Sunday that went down without a hitch, correct? So, rather...
Oh, and his React shows suck, bro. They really fucking suck. They're a chore to watch.
Don't give up. Challenge again.
So big ups to everybody that sits through that shit, because I couldn't.
And focusing on it and talking about it endlessly, that's it. All right, I mentioned it, we fixed it, that's it, move on, right? And that's really what, you know, I should have done, rather than just constantly talking about it. Constantly asking for more of this and that and getting everyone all...
What is more of this and that? Money? Tips? Support? Positivity? Because they all mean money at the end of the day. Obviously, once again, just like when Sir Moist called you out for being a beggar, this is the same conversation we had. The same conversation, the same old song and dance.
riled up about bullshit, and then people coming here on the streams and getting all frustrated because why is Phil in this mood every day now? Why is Phil stressed out and this and that? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like I said, today I'm not going to be talking about any of that stuff. I just want to hang out with you guys. I want things to get back to normal here, all right? And more relaxing times. All right, enough of you two idiots. Get the fuck out of the chat. Seriously, you two idiots just got to sit there. Blah, blah, blah.
Not even a minute into when he was like, guys, you're here to have fun and chill and relax. Not even a minute into, in the middle of the sentence, he immediately has to power trip on these guys or whoever in the chat. Let's dial it back and let's see it again from the top.
Right? And more relaxing times. All right, enough of you two idiots. Get the fuck out of the chat. Seriously, you two idiots just got to sit there. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. I'm trying to
Super armor.
Bro, I love it. If he just... Does he not understand? Guy, Phil, hello? Hi, Phil. Stop doing this, because that is what gives us strength. If you're looking for a way to get around the trolling element of your streams, this is specifically when you feed the trolls this type of behavior, you already lost.
Hey, there's somebody who can stop this fighting machine.
want to relax. All right? I just want to relax and have a good time. Oh, let's be in the chat. Let's try to rile Phil up. No, you're not going to do that today. You're gone. Thanks.
You just riled them up. You just stopped what you were talking about to talk about them. They won, you idiot.
So, yeah, that's it. It's funny because normally on a podcast, right, I'd be like, okay, we have all these topics. I came to the podcast today. I don't have anything to talk about. What I want to do is just go through the schedule for the week.
I got the drip, go. I got the drip.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a roller coaster of emotions. I'm so glad that we were able to share this together. I want to take a moment to say huge shout out and big ups to the entire Detractor community, including but not limited to Raw Phil, Snort Hogan, Duty Streams, Chill Murray 7, Kinda Sav, Darkseed of Flow, Dash the Content Curator, and so much more. Beautiful Mess, I've seen you on Twitter. Thank you for the support. Thank you. They said that they are rooting for me, and I am rooting for all of you. So thank you all so much for spending your precious time with me. Unlike somebody that we know, I actually do appreciate your time and company, because they say that a person's time is their most valuable asset. And any time that you spend here with me and with us, I greatly do appreciate that. So from the Level 99 live stream to you at home, thank you all so much for hanging out. And until next time, guys, take care, be safe, peace.